Hey everyone, I'm Ashley, as most of you already know. Tonight's video is going to be about week 4 of my business boot camp. I wanted to first start off by saying that I am very grateful for all of the new followers. I haven't missed out on it. I know that of my reel or shorts have been getting a lot of views, and I'm very thankful, and I know that those translated into followers both on here on YouTube as well as on my Facebook page. So I'm very thankful for that, and welcome. I'm Ashley, and if you want to kind of know more about this platform, go visit my first video and possibly second video where I kind of did more of that introductory type stuff. So today's video is about the boot camp, and if you don't know about the boot camp, go back a few videos to week 1 of business boot camp, and you'll kind of know all about why I'm doing this series. But tonight's topic was pricing, and this has been a topic that I'll probably spend a lot of time on, y'all, just to kind of forewarn you. But this is a topic that I really struggle with, and so I'm gonna try not to chit chat right now. I'm gonna try to get down to the meat of everything, and then I'll chit chat at the end. So one of the topics that we talked about within pricing is distribution, reaching our customers, and revenue. And I'm gonna tell you my answer to these questions that I gave the bootcamp participants tonight, and then maybe these are questions that you can kind of ask yourself. So let's dive right on into it. So distribution, how do you distribute your product, your experience, whatever your business is? How do you distribute the content? For me, I distribute online, in person, and in retail stores. Reaching your customers. How do I reach my customers? I had a lot of different platforms, and this was a topic that we kind of discussed heavy in my breakout groups within the bootcamp, is that having one stream of reaching customers is not enough in 2023 or 2022, whatever. That's not enough. Even if you mainly are on Facebook, you're still going to miss a whole population of people. Now, some of you may say, well, you can't reach everybody. And no, you can't. But I think the goal, at least my goal, is to reach as many people as possible. And so that's why I have Facebook, I have YouTube, I have in-person events, I have my retail customers and their customers. The list goes on and on of the customers and how I try to reach them with reels, with shorts, with lives on Facebook. So, and also just word of mouth. So taking it back old school, word of mouth. I try not to, every conversation that I have with somebody, hi, I'm Ashley and I own All Things Mental Health by Ashley. I try not to start every conversation like that. However, I find that I'm conscious about the conversations that I'm having, and if there is a way for me to kind of slide that in there, I will do that. Somebody had said that they were doing, for example, a girls' night for Valentine's Day with their grandkids, their daughter-in-laws, their daughter, just having a girls' night. The donut soaps would be kind of a cute gift. I, have been promoting that on my website and on social media, and they were like, what are donut soaps? And I kind of, showed them photos, and they were like, oh my gosh, I love those. Those would be perfect for my, I think they call it a gal's Valentine's Day or whatever you call it. And I was like, yeah, that would be perfect. And so that translated into a sale. So just trying to find clever ways to kind of mention your business or mention your website or mention a product. So maybe not all your products, but mentioning one product and kind of starting that conversation and be helpful. So that's kind of how I do it when I do in person or just, and then also people overhearing those conversations want to know more. Word of mouth and her just overhearing. And then even with the sale that I made at work, when I dropped off her package of donut soaps, somebody else was like, hey, like what's that smelling like that, you know? And then she took them out and she's like, oh my gosh, it's sticky. So it's spreading when you're in that type of environment. So yeah, that's my conversation on reaching customers. Revenue. So what are your revenue streams? And why did I choose my revenue streams was kind of the question. And so my revenue streams were retail, and I'll take them one by one. Retail. Why I chose retail. Now, I have my products in 2 stores currently and a few pending. So stay tuned for those videos. But retail, I really want to reach customers that I probably will not be able to reach this early in my business or probably at all. And there's certain parts of Virginia, which is where I'm focusing my business expansion. Like I'm really focusing on getting Virginians into all things mental health by Ashley. Like my interests aren't really like different states or anything like that. However, maybe in the future, some surrounding states like North Carolina or West Virginia or whatever may be an option. But for right now, I'm focused on Virginia. And I really wanted, and like I don't do events, festivals, and markets all over Virginia. There are certain spots in Virginia that I'll go to, but there's a whole lot that I don't do. And I would love my products to be in those spots or even some surrounding spots. So currently my 2 vendor spots my 2 retail spots that I have confirmed are about 30 to 45, maybe an hour away. And I do not do events in those areas. And now it's not because of them being my retail customer, and that's why I don't do my events in that area. I don't have any events that I want to do in that area. So, you know, I would have missed out on that customer base. So it was really important for me to kind of get in certain locations that I don't have a desire to do events in and don't plan on, to be able to still reach those customers and kind of introduce them to my brand. There are some retail venues that are a little bit closer to home. They are interested in my products. It's just preference. And I'm learning as I continue this that maybe I don't want to drive 5 hours to a retail store to replenish. So maybe my base is, you know, within 2 hours from my studio. So looking at things like that when it comes to retail, and they also promote. So when you're in a store, my experience has been that they promote your products in their store because they want those products to sell just as much as you do, so that they can get their percentage. And also that can bring in new customer bases for them as well, if you know your product. So it just works out for both parties, and that's free promotion, so to speak. Even though you're paying some form of percentage or whatever it is, they are still promoting. And they have a lot of the retail customers that I have a huge following base, a lot bigger than mine, and they're able to promote and put more money into promoting on social medias or doing lives, and actually have people showing up for their lives and purchasing on their lives. So they do a lot of advertisement for me. Online. Why I chose online is because I've been asked by customers for online. Like they have asked me, hey, do you have like a website or anything like that? Do you have a Etsy? So I felt like it was time for me to give just another platform for people to be able to reach me. People that are not on Facebook or anything like that, that just want a website to go to. Also on the other end of that, I do have a Facebook that I also have a marketplace, and you can purchase my products through there. So that's another form, as well as I do different lives, events on Facebook, and you can purchase, which is just simply just commenting that you want a product. And usually those people are local, so they can do like a local pickup, or they can have it shipped if they want to. So that's kind of where I'm at with the online and my reasoning for wanting that revenue. In person, I just feel like it's super important for me to be present. I feel like if I have the opportunity to be present, I want to, as much as possible, because people want to see the person behind the product. I know I do. If I'm purchasing a product, I would love to see the person behind it. And that has come with me starting my own business, and that being like over time an important like aspect for me. So when I buy local products now, I want to see the person behind that product. I want to hear their story. And go back to the previous video from week 3. What is your story? That's super important. And I feel like people like things that they can relate to, people that they can relate to. And we were just talking about this in my workshop tonight, is people want to be able to relate to you and relate that to your product. And I feel like that's super important. I know as a consumer, I do. I love YouTube videos where people take me through their life. It may not be like a deep into their lives, but they take me through their day when they make products, or they take me through their shipping process, or they take me to the UPS store where they drop off their packages for a customer, or they take me ingredient shopping with them. I love seeing those things. I love having those things playing in the background while I'm making my products. It's super important to me. And if I like something, more than likely somebody else in the world likes it too. So I try to keep that in mind. Another stream of revenue that I hope to aspire to one day, that will add to my business, is possibly getting monetized either on Facebook or on YouTube. That is a goal of mine, to bring in an extra revenue stream. So all of these revenue streams that I have are super important in my overall revenue of my business. So a question that was asked to me in my breakout group, because some people do not have businesses yet that are in the business workshop. People are aspiring to have a business but need guidance on how to even start it up. Now, a lot of us, majority of us, already have businesses. Some are successful, some are actual brick and mortar, and then some are just online, and some are both. With that being said, a question that was personally asked to me was, how hard was it to get into a retail store? So I'm going to answer that for y'all, as I've taken y'all through at least one process of me from start to finish with one of my retail customers. So how hard was it? It was super hard. It was super hard. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That's not what my YouTube video is about, is sugarcoating the facts. I am here to show you the real struggle, successes, downfalls, ups, everything when it comes to running a small business, through me running my small business. And that's what was super important for me to start this YouTube channel where I'm currently at in my business, which is early on, so that you can see all of me, like everything when it comes to running my small business. It was super hard getting in retail customer, and it's still hard. Even though I'm in 2, I have not made it yet. So let me take you through this. How I do it is I look at local, which is Virginia, for me. I look at boutiques that I could see myself shopping in. If I can see myself shopping in that boutique, I'm going to go out there and just reach out via email or messenger and just say, hey, this is who I am. This is my brand. This is the products that I offer. Would you be willing to have these products in your store? Do you have products like these in your store? And kind of get that feedback. That's how I do it. And I have gotten a lot of no answers. I've gotten a lot of no's. And then I have a few yeses. So here we are. Although I am reaching out to some different types of venues to house my products that go well with my brand, the process is still the same. It's just the way it goes. And, it's definitely hard. It's definitely hard. But if this is something that you really want, it can be done. And I think that that's just proof of that. I've been in business for 4 months, going on 5 months, I believe. And I'm already in 2 retail stores. However, the work isn't done yet. Just because you've gotten them, that's step 1 is to get them in the store. Step 2 is for them to sell in the store. So it's a process. And that takes a lot of advertisement on their part and a lot of advertisement on your part. So just because they're advertising and they have a strong following base doesn't mean that you don't advertise just as hard as you were before for your products being in that store. I find myself every post that my 2 retail stores are posting, I am sharing everything just because it brings more attention to their store, which are where my products are at. So I'm still working super hard on promoting and in videos and on lives, and when I'm selling and promoting, go check out such and such store, go check out this store, my products are in these stores. I'm constantly bringing up these stores' names, advertising on my end as well. Super hard to get into a retail store, but doable, absolutely doable. And I feel like it's worth it for me. The woman that asked me this question, she is a boutique owner. She's an online boutique owner. And I guess she is trying to figure out her way when it comes to revenue streams. Definitely a good question to be asked. The next thing we talked about in the group was about units of sales. So how many units of sales do you have? I took this to be how many products do you have? So how many types of products do you have? So for me, it would be whipped body soaps, whipped body butters, whipped sugar scrubs, lip balm, lip scrubs, bar soap, soaking bath salts, and donut soaps. And of course, you have my new section of my business, which are lip balm holders, mental health tote bags, and my chill pill jars. Those are my units of sale. That's what I took it as. However, if I'm wrong, please comment below and let me know what units of sale are. But that's what I took it to be. Next, we got into pricing. So actually getting down to the price of our products. And I'll tell you what they said, and then I'll tell you my process through this. Not offering pricing based on your competitors. So this was super big for me at the beginning. At the beginning, when I was trying to figure out pricing for my new products that I currently do, because as you know, I was doing baskets and boxes at the beginning, and my pricing was absolutely horrible. Looking back, absolutely horrible. I wasn't making anything. When I started making my skincare line, which are my self-care line, I really had to sit down and figure out, and through 2 videos, figuring out how to price my items. And I swapped and I switched and I changed and I did all of these things. However, somebody told me the best time to do all this switching is at the very beginning of your business. So within the first few months, because you really haven't gotten a following base at that point. So your customers won't really know if you're switching or not, but get it out of your system now so that once you do have a solid foundation and a solid customer base, that is already out of it and they won't see much of a change in your pricing. So that was super huge. However, I did find myself trying to go on Etsy and look up whipped body butters and see how people are pricing theirs and everything. And then I just realized that like I really need to just do the hard work. I really need to do the hard work and list out how much are my ingredients. How much are, so for example, for my whipped body soap, how much are my ingredients? How much are my containers? Let's say for my ingredients, $25 to make whipped body soap. Then for the packaging, so let's say the containers, let's say it's $15 to buy 25 containers. Then let's say for labeling, let's say you paid $300 for labels and you got 300 labels. $300 for 300 labels. Let's keep it simple. So $1 per label. You add all of that up. So you equal up with $41 in total. So as we see, we have 25 containers. So with me, if like, for example, if I knew I only had 25 containers to do this whipped body soap, I'm going to divide my 21 by my 25. So that's $1.64. So that's what I'm going to say. It takes me $1.64 to make one whipped body soap in a container. At that point, I'm going to times it times 4. So that has me at $6.56. For example, that's what I would sell that whipped body soap for. It's $6 and I may just up it because I don't like uneven numbers. So I would up it up to $7. I would sell that whipped body soap for $7. Now that times 4, in my opinion, accounts for my labor, my time. It accounts for any overhead that I may have forgotten. It accounts for any wholesale. It accounts for any retail, because even though retail takes out a smaller percentage, you do still have to pay some form of rent, even though that's a small amount. It takes into account all of those things. That's how I kind of do it as an example. Even if you're a competitor, like say Bath and Body Works, or even like a smaller local business, like let's say they're charging $3. If you charge $3 for your whipped body soap and it costs you $1.64, you would be losing out. I mean, overall, yes, you'd be making double or triple your money. But if you decide to do wholesale or retail, you would be losing money if you try to compare it to other people. That's why it's important, and that's why I decided to really sit down and do the math and figure out how much does it cost me. Because I am not them, they are not me, they're not paying my bills, and they're not running my business. So I need to focus on what it costs me to make this product, and then times it times 4 or times it times 2, whatever it is that you want to times it. That's how I do it. However, it's important to come to that conclusion on what you want to price your items at, and not let other people guide how you want to price your items. Also, side note, ordering in bulk can help with decreasing your cost of goods, which is that $1.64. That can also help. Next thing, discounting policy. They really focus on discounting policy, and I found that in my group, a lot of us struggled with this. So for example, doing sales all the time. And this can be something that we fall into because our products aren't selling, so we want to do a sale. Or we see Bath and Body Works doing a sale all the time, we want to do a sale all the time. Once again, we are not Bath and Body Works, and we're not everybody else. We are a small business, and sometimes we cannot do sales all the time. In addition to that, besides the financial piece of not being able to do sales all the time, does it look good? Was kind of the question that was posed. Having your products on sale all the time, does that say something about the quality of your products? People want a product that's always on sale. What do people think about products that are always on sale? Does it make people think less of your products if they're always on sale? It's definitely a question to be asked, and that's definitely, comment below how you feel about that. But it's definitely something to think about. And another big question that was posed in the group was, do people want the cheaper version of something? For example, he said, if money was no hindrance to you, would you pay $5,000 for a wedding or $500 for a wedding? A lot of people said they would pay $5,000. If people said $5,000 because they felt they would be getting more, they would be getting better quality if they paid the $5,000. Some, of course, said they would pay $500 because they wanted to use the majority of their money for a honeymoon. However, we're talking about money is not an option for you. You have endless amount of money, $5,000 or $500. For me, I think I would pay the $5,000 because the assumption is that it's better quality. They're offering more, so maybe they're offering a video package along with a photo package. They're offering, a scenery that is drop dead gorgeous. They're offering all types of, food and, buffet and appetizers and everything. That's my thought. Versus the $500, I'm going to get a lot of those accommodations cut. The quality may get cut because of the cheaper package. I thought about this as well when you're translating that example to my business. Do people really want to buy the cheaper option, or do they want to buy a high quality product? Definitely something to consider and something to think about. Another thing is referrals and incentives, rolling over from season to season. These are some situations where you may do discounts. Diversifying sales. So somebody said with this topic, how do you explain bigger retail stores doing sales all the time? How are they making their money? Are they losing money? And orange swept their side, these bigger stores are diversifying their sales. So even though they're doing sales, they may not do sales on everything. They may only be doing sales on certain items. Along with that, they are bringing you in the door. And sometimes that's all they need is to bring you in the door. Once they bring you in the door, then they can work their magic when it comes to promoting other revenue streams for them. So he brought up credit cards. A lot of the times when you go to a retail store, they will at checkout ask you to sign up for a credit card. If you sign up for a credit card, you get 20% off your purchase and this many percentages off future purchases. So they are getting you in the door to get you to this one sale, but then they're also bringing this other, opportunity your way as well, and they get a certain percentage or whatever from credit card interest and all that stuff. So definitely something to think about when it comes to how other bigger businesses may or may not be diversifying their sales to kind of compensate for those discounts that they're always offering. Another aspect was wholesale and how that kind of fits into our pricing. And that's kind of what I talked about ×4. And that's kind of like the general, I've heard of is ×4 to kind of account for all of those expenses that we didn't think about, plus wholesale. Product worth. He asked us in the workshop, what is your product worth? What are customers paying your competitors for that same product? And what is your price plan going forward? I feel like my products are worth good quality. I feel like that they are worth high quality. You also need to take into consideration the location that you're in. If you're in a lower income area, is it worth having, expensive product? Is that really going to sell? What are your customers paying your competitors, whether it's a Bath and Body Works or whether it's a Yankee Candle if you're doing candles? What are your customers paying the competitors? It could even be like another local small business. And then what is your price plan, for what you charge? Are you going to change up what you're doing based off of that information? Or are you going to stay to whatever it is that you currently have? So my takeaway from this workshop is that it's important to really focus in on your pricing and making sure that you do not devalue yourself. And for people who are doing experiences, knowing your worth, or a scenario that was given was about photography. Some people get really upset by the amount or price that photographers offer. However, there's a craft behind it, it's experience behind it, as well as the behind the scenes editing that goes on after the photos and software that needs to go into being able to edit those photos and cameras and all of these different things. And so a lot of things that customers do not see. And so sometimes education is important when customers are like, oh my gosh, that's so expensive. And then also, are those your ideal customers? Go back to the previous video. Knowing our ideal customer. Our ideal customer knows our worth. Our ideal customer knows what they want. They know products or ingredients when they see them, and they know, oh, that's high quality ingredients. So knowing our ideal customers and appealing to them. Of course, if we appeal to other people, great. However, knowing your ideal customer is important, and then asking them those tough questions. What is your favorite fragrance? What is your favorite product? Whatever it is, knowing that gives you, I feel like, a good basis for what you're doing and pricing. Also, sometimes asking your customers, what would you pay for this? Or asking your family members, what would you pay for that? Have them trying it out and giving you their honest feedback is super important. So that's my rant for tonight's video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Week 5 is going to be great. Stay tuned for week 5. We have 8 weeks in this boot camp, so I am almost halfway through, and I'm super excited. However, do not be worried, because even though this series will come to an end after week 8, I have plenty more videos for you, such as taking you around with me when it comes to markets, vendor events. I have plenty of them booked for this year. I'm still revising and editing and taking out some and adding in more. So it's plenty of things for you to be able to see. I'll still be doing a lot of reels and shorts. If you're following me on Facebook or here on YouTube, I'll be doing a lot of those as I make products and everything. So I'm super excited about this. Thank y'all for coming along with me. Please like and subscribe if this is the type of content that you like. And I will see you lovely people at the next video. Bye.